A word for our listeners. Masks of Nyarlathotep is set in the 1920s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It is not our intention to offend. We merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to the Nerds Domain presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Join us each week as our investigators follow a path of clues and attempt to save the world from an ancient evil. Starring John Quiett, Jestin Kimmet, Shirley Niedzwiecki, George Chimples, Jason Hall, and Scott Troiano, with Matt Quiett running the table as keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed cultists await you just beyond this music.
All right, and welcome back to Masks of Nyarlathotep. I'm here with Shirley. Hi.
Hello.
Jason.
Well played, sir.
I didn't do shit.
George.
Hello.
Scott.
Hello.
Johnny.
Hi.
Jesse.
Hello.
Oh my God. I hate you all.
Next episode, everybody.
Every time he calls a name.
Opposite.
So, for the listeners at home, the reason I have our players say hello is so you can figure out what player is playing what character by their voice.
Oh, I see. That's
Because we never address each other by name.
Yes.
Sometimes we don't.
Nope.
And sometimes the storyteller addresses you by the wrong name. Isn't that right, Captain Wentworth?
Yes. That's repeatedly.
That's actually a temporal thing because later in the story they will get merged into
Yeah.
like two bodies and personalities in this horrible four-armed, four-legged beast creature, which we have to address as Captain Wentworth.
Scott's chest will fall apart and Wentworth will just climb inside.
See, and I thought I would just have
What's
to,
in here?
Damn, did you know about it?
See, and I thought I would just have to undo my dress shirt down to the belly button and have it go like Quato or whatever.
Oh,
Yes,
no.
Total recall, everybody.
No,
Wait.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the pink
Krang.
yeah, the like big strong guy with the brain in his stomach.
All right, so as we left our adventurers last, the student Weld and
That's my title.
the dumb cowpoke McCrea.
Thanks.
The dumb cowpoke McCrea had gone and spoken to the clearly more smarter than you professor.
Thank you.
And had received 5 books or 4, we're not sure. From him.
4 books.
That's a Star Trek reference.
Yes.
Captain Picard. Thank you. 4 lights. Okay.
And prior to that, there had been some other conversations. We are now a full month in game into the game. So
are we seeing like rats falling from the sky or like
No.
the moon turning into a 2 moon?
this is February 17th, second day of the journey.
When did we get? And we've been only 1 month.
Yeah.
Oh,
We never run around.
yeah.
Well, you know, jumping in a bunch of cars and driving and shooting people doesn't take a ton of time, really, when you think about it.
So when we make landfall in Cairo, I want to have like a couple cars ready and like some guns.
Yeah.
Waiting for us.
How are you going to procure said things?
Just be like, I want some guns on the cars.
No. Gotcha. Okay, fine.
I think we're supposed to have
Yes, midweek. We're not even there yet. Or mid-voyage.
So is Professor Wentworth going to be attending any dinners in the next day or two after the conversation that you just had?
No.
Okay.
Mr. Byrne, you had a thing? He's rolling dice.
hold on.
Clearly he had a thing.
Yeah.
Really?
Never mind.
Nice. The suspense was killing.
Listeners, did you enjoy that as much as we did?
Oh.
How to Troll Your DM
Okay,
by
yes.
John.
What do you got, John?
So the third day, and I have an action whenever we get to the third day.
So the second day goes by just fine.
Third now we're on the 3rd day.
Third day, perhaps Mr. Byrne would like to do something.
Well, once everyone's settled in for the evening, the curiosity gets to Mr. Byrne, and he has to read one of the books. To find out.
Oh, and it starts.
So,
He's like, God damn it.
What book are you going to choose? Well, I guess really what we ought to ask is, what language do you speak?
English.
And
Also English.
America!
Sometimes English.
I speak English and
Yeah, American and English
So,
are two different languages.
the choices you have in books are kind of
Wait. Don't tell him
Limited.
until we get them split up. What 2 books are you taking?
Whatever ones you hand me, since you have the book.
Okay, tell me the names of the
Narcotic
books.
Manuscripts, Selection, Deliver, Devon, People of the Monolith, and Life as a God.
I'm taking People of the Monolith and Life is a God.
So that means you're reading the Narcotic Manuscripts because the other one you cannot read. It's in French.
Excellent.
Do you speak French?
No.
I
Are
can
you
teach
going? You're going to spend the week reading this because it's going to take.
at night.
At night.
At night, under the covers with a flashlight.
Roll that insanity
Scare
loss.
yourself to
Let's
death.
just be honest. You probably read it that first night and then decide to read it during the day the rest of the time, like between breakfast and lunch. Because otherwise, oh my god.
In the sunlight where you can see that the sun is actually shining on you. And they're not coming to get you in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I don't think that I would continue to read them.
Well, I mean they're creepy but the things you've been seeing are clearly creepy.
Okay.
So I mean it's not any worse. It's just describing things you haven't seen before.
However, the Annabelle horror had to be in the day.
Yeah.
This at night.
At the end of the week, you gain 10 in your Cthulhu Mythos knowledge.
Holy cow. Isn't there
Congratulations. Hold on.
Hmm.
Congratulations.
That was insane.
Now make sure. No, hold on. Now make sure you black out those top 10 boxes that you could have had from. Like you black them out, you would never get those sanity boxes.
From your max.
From 99 down.
Oh, from Max?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I've lost nothing.
No, I know.
Yet.
You never go higher than that.
Well, his max was like 50.
Yeah, it's
My max is
Fine,
25.
Okay. I was like, yeah, he could.
Go ahead and roll a d8 for me.
1.
You lose 1 sanity.
Oh boy.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Totally worth it.
The things it describes are terrible, and I'm looking them up by the book.
Now, was there a spell in that
I'm looking that up as well.
book?
Yes, there is.
Byrne becomes a spell.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna laugh. He can.
Gonna feel morally justified, are you? We only have one person.
Is there anything that would make you not feel morally justified?
Yes.
Mr. Byrne, you learn contact. You can learn contact winged thing.
Elder thing?
No, it's technically winged thing, but yes, it's the same spell as contact elder thing. Essentially, you have the ability to call upon an elder creature to discuss problems with it.
I don't.
Okay.
You don't learn it?
No.
You can't be like, I have a handful of grievances. I have ordered them numerically. No? You should learn it.
You think I should just learn the spell?
Yes.
The book spends a lot of time talking about pre-human crinoids that seeded life on the earth. Yep.
It's like sea flowers.
Don't they live in the volcano?
Maybe.
No, that's the Xanthoids, the Xenoid. What is it, the Scientology stuff?
Xenu. That's the god.
Yeah, that's the one.
Crinoids are like lilies of the sea. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the closest living.
Sea one?
They evolved with the starfish, basically.
So, Mr. Byrne, that takes the better part of the week. So during the day you probably read, and at night you play poker.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's make sure you had an action. Don't tell me you're reading a book.
Do it,
Yes,
do it.
You couldn't possibly
No.
know that he read a book.
One of us.
No.
Yeah, because once she learns a spell,
Oh,
it's
no,
all
but-
over.
Oh no, but no. I have a very hard time because I'm very curious.
Mhm.
But I pace back and forth a lot in front of the trunk,
Okay.
and I pick one of Life as a God up. I kind of open it, but then I shut it and I put it back in the trunk, and I leave the room.
Does she notice anything peculiar about life as a god?
Is that the one you rebound?
Yes.
Then yes, it's poorly bound. Oh no, I think you guys got that fixed while you were at your estate. It was sent off to someone came and rebound it.
I don't read anything like specific though. I just kind of like look at it, pick it up, turn up my
But it's a
hand,
fresh
open it.
finding of delicious smelling cow leather. This cow leather smells good.
It does. So I'm just wrestling with the thoughts of, okay, I want to help everybody. So by knowing what they're knowing, I should be able to help them.
Exactly what
Give
I
in
did.
to the power of the dark side.
Put your mask on.
All right. Okay. So, the 18th goes by pretty uneventfully.
Do you read the book?
No.
She just said no.
Oh.
The 19th as well. You guys are still meeting for dinners. Mr. Botticello, you're still not joining anyone? And Professor Wentworth, you're still not joining?
Nope.
On the 22nd, Mr. Botticello. Yeah.
On the evening of the 21st, I want to pull you aside quickly, Weldy at dinner, just to say, from the idea of all of us sharing the knowledges that we learn, I think it would be wholly inappropriate if Botticello were to learn the spell that Professor Wentworth killed the werewolf with. Too much power in the wrong hands.
I don't think it'd be a good idea for anyone to learn that, if we're going to avoid it.
Agreed.
So on the 22nd, Mr. Botticello, you said you wanted to go meet with the professor?
Yes, but first I'm going to go to Captain Wilkerson's.
Oh, sure.
I'm going to wait till it is night, but not a horrible hour, but around 8 p.m.-ish.
Actually,
you're going to pick him up.
you go and knock.
I'm not done.
There's no answer. You do remember hearing something about a poker game?
Oh, yeah. Would I know where?
You could find the ship is not so huge that you couldn't possibly find it.
You did previously, make it confession, investigate and stuff.
Yeah, true,
I'm sure it's not
yeah.
too hard.
True. I will
Damn you,
go
Ninja
to
Tails.
the poker game.
Okay. So you head to the poker game. There's 4 crew there, along with Mr. Botticello, or Mr. Byrne and Captain Wilkerson, playing cards, having a good time, drinking a little bit, because U.S. merchant ships are one of the few places that U.S. citizens can drink right now. Well, what do you do?
Excuse me, Captain Wilkerson.
Oh, yes.
I would like to talk with Professor Wentworth. I believe it would be best if somebody was with me, because he has reason to not trust me at the moment. I come completely unarmed. I have nothing. My big holster. I have no stick with me. I haven't shaved since we got on the boat.
I don't know what that means.
He's looking a wee bit crazy. Certainly, if you'll excuse me from the game, Mr. Byrne.
Of course.
Would you like me to lead the way?
That'd be great.
Wonderful. I'd like to swing past my cabin.
Perfectly fine.
All right, I swing back by my cabin and pick up my shotgun,
Okay.
I would
and swing by Weld's cabin and knock, knock, knock. Weldy, come.
What?
And I'm down the hall now, and Mr. Byrne or Mr. Botticello is following me.
I put my head out, see that, and I should follow it as well, I guess.
Do you arm yourself?
All of our
I've got-
cabins in the same area.
Generally.
I've got my lion's paws
would
generally
be-
tucked in my sleeves unless I say otherwise, or it's an issue,
Okay.
because they're not
No, it's fine. No,
relatively...
it's fine. I was just generally asking.
No, I'm just saying,
Yeah, you may not.
because I am a weapon.
You may
Well-
not hear them. It's just 4 people walking down the hall. The ship's creaky anyway. You're out on the ocean.
Well, I'm distressing over the trunk in my room, so as they walk by my cabin, I throw open my door to run out and
Okay.
run into one of them.
So Miss McCrea comes kind of startled out of her room, right behind you, Mr. Botticello, and Mr. Weld, as you come out of your room and start heading that way, she's suddenly in front of you.
Would you two mind waiting outside while I talk with the professor? I would prefer it to be just the captain, me, and professor.
What are you
Yeah.
discussing with the professor?
Events that have happened. I'm completely unarmed. I mean no harm.
What are you planning to address with him about events, though? We've discussed it with him, and he, as you understand, doesn't feel too confident towards you.
I understand. That's why I'm bringing a well-armed individual with me.
Are you going to apologize for striking him, or...
I would like to talk about the events that happened.
Are you going to be diplomatic or forceful?
I plan on being diplomatic.
I hope so.
If it was forceful, I would probably have my say.
What are y'all doing?
What? We might have a different understanding
Party
of
out here in the hall.
a forceful discussion to me does not mean smashing someone, right? I mean, that's
What were you meaning by forceful?
being accusatory, yelling at him,
Oh,
telling him he is a murderer, things of that nature.
Not bludgeoning him with the murder stick.
Mr. Botticello, I
Very
can
good.
assure you he knows he's a murderer.
He knows he believes he has killed a monster. He killed something. Just try and see it his way.
I continue walking.
Okay.
I will knock on his door.
I kind of wait a little bit down further in the hallway with the curtain, so it doesn't look like we're just
Are
like
we
busting.
waiting out here?
He requested that we be there. Should we need to separate the two of them, it might be a good idea.
I will open my door, see Botticello,
Hello.
and close my door.
I was going to say, I will, and this is the first thought that came to my head, and I apologize for this, but I was going to slide the gun barrel into the door so that it won't close.
Roll a dexterity times 5.
Oh my goodness! When I see you draw a gun, I'm like,
Oh no, I had it out.
Yeah, he kind of had it like probably up on his shoulder, just kind of walking along with it.
welcome to my side of the argument.
Did you get it?
Nope.
So the door shuts and you kind of clank your gun against it.
Captain!
Well, I didn't want the door to close. My foot was far
Don't
away.
use-
I had it
Don't
at
use a
hand.
firearm. Can we discuss things like civilized people?
That was,
I will knock on the
I'm here
door
to
again.
moderate.
Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
I'm the voice of mediation.
So you knock on the door again.
Yes. Professor Wentworth, I would like to talk with you. I brought Captain Wilkerson, well, practically the whole gang, but Captain Wilkerson will be the only one with us. He will make sure everything's fine. I've come completely unarmed.
I'm having an internal debate about letting the crazy guy with the gun and the heretic slayer into my room together. Like, it's literally in my head. I'm like, why do I want to do this?
I get closer down the hall.
It's a good internal monologue to have.
Yeah. Like, well, I know you're slipping. And you're not my favorite person.
While you're having that internal monologue, I'm talking to Weld. Did you walk down the hall anywhere? Or were you just having that conversation being where you were?
Yeah, I'm kind of down the hallway a little bit so that it's like I'm not like right up against the door, so it's not like super aggressive. But I'm, say, 5 foot strides away. You know, a door or two down.
Courtney, I'm having an issue with these books in my room.
An issue.
Yes, an issue.
What sort of issue?
I will wake up in the middle of the night and I will want to read them.
Oh dear.
Is that
Oh,
normal?
wait. Can I hear this from inside my room?
Can I hear this from outside of her room?
Hold
on. Guys, allow me to answer this question before all of you talk at the same time again. Professor, you can roll at a negative 40 on listen. You may not have a chance. And the other two of you out in the hall can roll like a negative 20.
No.
I didn't get it regularly.
Got it.
Oh, you
Okay.
cracker.
So you hear her mention
Like,
somewhat quietly that she's thinking about reading books.
No, I heard. Did I hear what she said?
Yes,
I wake up late at night and I want to read the books.
that's the thing she said.
She might need to make a listen, or whatever you're going to give her, an idea or whatever, as the safety.
So, Professor, as you're
As I
thinking
turn my
over
head.
lighting the crazy man in,
I hear the sound of a gun being armed.
no, you hear a
Don't do
safety
that.
pop, and you know it's a safety. You're at least trained enough in guns now to know that safety has been released on the other side of that door. And since you can't see them because your door's shut,
Is there a people?
even if he is, he's going to get a very
I'm going to get from.
So I hear this going too, right?
yeah.
Captain, we've all read the books. It's not an issue that requires that.
And I
Yes, but they never made any of us wake in the evening.
Read the books. Who's
What?
reading the
And
books?
Raw them to it.
There's a gun pointing at me.
No, not at all.
Miss McCrea, are you reading the books?
No. She
No.
said
No.
that she's curious
No.
about them, and as a
Yes.
responsible adult, she brought it to someone's attention rather than bearing the burden herself alone.
Are they
That
calling
is
to you?
what. Calling to me. Calling to me.
We're so like, I've read one.
I
I'm on the- I'm
well,
on the
I don't
daggers.
think that that's it at all. I just think maybe it's because the books are in my room and I have a curious nature. I don't know.
Good choice, guys. Good choice.
It is a forbidden.
Oh,
Like if you
I
read them, it's not a
I just would like some support and validation from people that have gone through this.
oh, certainly. Don't read them. And I put the safety back on.
Which
Like,
which two books do you have in your possession?
Life is God and
People of
in
the
Monolith.
Did you guys also get the items or just the books?
We
I
have items as
have
well.
the mask.
You have the mask, and things are talking to you.
She did not say that things are talking to her. She said that she felt a natural curiosity one might feel towards something that is forbidden to you.
And I'm
Perhaps we
bringing
should-
it to the group like we had discussed.
Perhaps-
Oh, but you weren't there.
quite mature of you, Miss McCrea.
Thank
And
you.
I knock on the door. Professor, Mr. Botticello would like to have a word with you. He asked me to come mediate or moderate or whatever it is he said.
I will unlock my door, open it, step out, and start walking towards the dining area.
Okay.
I will relock my door on the way out.
Oh, apparently he is looking for something more public. That may put a hamper in your
As you walk past, Professor, do you feel that me or Miss McCrea need to be there? Or would you prefer your privacy?
No,
We
public space is fine. I just don't want to be in a confined area.
Very well. I'll follow afterwards.
So I assume the five of you end up in the dining area.
I'm going to watch the group move forward and allow myself to lag enough to
The four of them.
Is
Are
the
you
dining...
not gonna no, I'm gonna let
he
the
and I.
Mr.
weren't
Weld
you,
is following.
Suggesting that you and I have a conversation with him.
No,
You said, do we need to go?
And he said he'd like to be in a public area, so I'm going to go with him.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because
then
I don't
I'll-
trust these
So-
people.
I let the four of them.
Wait. Hold on.
I let the four of them come up enough that I lag behind and go to whisper in Mrs. McCrea's ear. The most terrible read, you know. As I walk in the room.
But is the dining area
And she stopped.
essentially deserted at this point of the day?
yeah.
Because I want to go someplace where we're going to be discussing stuff that's not going to be able to write crew that way.
Freaked out.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Also 7 more.
Yeah, it's completely. It should be.
Okay.
That doesn't mean people won't come by or through. It just means that.
I post up near the door, away, because I'm just there to watch. I don't care about actually listening in their conversation, so I'll be kind of like looking down one hallway to see if anyone's coming.
So Captain, you, the professor, and Mr. Botticello all take a seat at a table, I assume.
Yes.
Is that right,
I would
Captain?
prefer if Miss McCrea
Yes.
was not at the table.
I'm not. I'm over with Courtney.
Anytime, Mr. Botticello.
The reason I wanted to talk to you with as few people around as possible, because what I'm about to say is hard for me to do. I'm sorry for my actions. I was in an emotional state. I was not thinking of the good of the party. If I was wounded more than I've ever been in my entire life, I was not in the right state of mind. If she wasn't put down, she could have easily put one of us down. And I was jeopardizing something much grander for something that was not necessary,
I think the word you're looking for is ephemeral.
quite possibly. And I am sorry for my actions. I acted up. I'm pretty sure I can never make it up to you.
If you would, explain to me the chain of events as you recall them. From the moment we opened the door and walked into this.
We walked into the room.
You can refer to her as a girl or werewolf, whatever.
The lady seemed agitated. I believe she was spurned into changing by us being there. Like we might have pushed her over the edge.
Do you recall her words before she changed?
Not particularly.
Okay.
I knocked her out. And then we started to move her.
Do you remember anything else happening before that?
I remember you were casting something.
Anything else?
And then you stopped once it was knocked out.
Anything
I
else?
also remember, I don't believe anybody was wounded at that point. The actual problems happened when we started moving her into the other room. When she reawoke her.
Yeah. Go forward.
When we put her in the room, she came awake. I was struck with, I might have been struck. I don't know when I was struck. I've had a lot on my mind.
She assaulted you.
But yes, she could have very easily killed me. She could have very easily killed anybody in the group.
Do you remember where Byrne was in all of this?
Yes. He was behind her.
Okay. Do you remember her grabbing hold of him or anything?
Actually, no, I don't think she had a hold of him. She might have hit him.
You're like miming shit.
Yeah,
across
I
the
had
table.
her grab. I was grabbing.
No, like I'm just.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Testing this.
But yes, it was, as I said, I got emotional. I let things happen, and I can guarantee I won't get emotional again. If a hard choice is to be made, it needs to be made swiftly. And it needs to be made before it can cause any harm to what we're doing. Or any of us.
Well, there are a few points I would like to clarify for you. First of all was when the monster spoke through her while still in human form upon sighting her father, saying that it wanted his blood. This was before she changed.
She might have been going through the process.
No, she was not.
I'm not
She was
sure where she starts changing though. Is it an outward appearance or is it an inward?
If it's inward, then she doesn't exist.
She might not during those certain phases. But anyway.
Regardless, she wanted his blood, and upon sighting him, her physical manifestation began. Captain Wilkerson stuck her with a knife. You clubbed her. I believe Mr. Byrne was moving in to try to subdue her. For some unknown reason, she went into a state of catatonia. At that point, I administered physical first aid to her in an attempt to bind her wounds. This was after ceasing my intended attack to try to safeguard the lives of the rest of the party that were in the room with the monster.
I feel as if you're trying to convince me of something you've already come.
No, I'm just laying out the exact chain of actions. We then moved her to the next room, where, for some reason, again, we don't know how we subdued her the first time, but she woke up. And she was very clearly intent upon killing you and our associates. Well, not Mr. Wilkerson. He was otherwise occupied.
Yes.
So I made the choice at that point to essentially put her down. I will admit to you that in my mind, I killed a monster. I did not murder a woman. As far as I could tell, she was already basically dead. Or as good as. Her life was not hers anymore.
First, it was 3 days. But yes, that's.
And the rest of the time, her family kept her in sequester. Out of fear of her.
Yeah.
This is a generational curse.
As I said, I understand the actions. And I'm sorry I stood in the way of them. Deeply regret striking me. I was, as I said, it was a thing that won't happen again.
I'm glad to hear it.
Weld, Miss McCrea, any chance you could come up here for a moment?
Yes?
I strongly believe Professor Wentworth should be in possession of the mask.
Why?
Yeah, no, I'm like, what?
And I say it at the same time. Why?
Because when we had the mask on, horrible things came to us. When he had the mask on, something possibly beneficial came to him. If we want any chance of that happening, again, the person it has peacefully contacted should have it.
Okay. Like, I was like, wait, are we talking about putting the mask on me again?
Nervous much?
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
No.
So, like, out of character, I was like, if somebody's like, oh, like, I'm gonna get angry.
I am not suggesting that until we put our feet on the sink.
Should anyone...
I firmly believe that it should be in his possession. I do know that accidents have happened in the past. He might have left things about carelessly, but I'm pretty sure that won't happen again.
Do you have any desire to have control of the mask, Professor?
I care not one way or the other at this point.
I think I'll keep it.
Weld shrugs.
Miss McCrea, I would be remiss if I did not ask the following question. You have a curiosity at times to read books. Are you also curious to put on the mask?
No.
I would have been remiss if I did ask.
Thank you for checking on me.
Just fight.
That wasn't good.
I'm sure with my intelligence level, it wouldn't want to affect me anyway.
What was that about?
Yeah, you're. Was it enough? What's?
Oh, well, I didn't go to university.
Miss McCrea believes that she should co-check or co-sign my research and that she's capable of understanding.
I don't presume to understand the idiocy that goes through your mind.
I think
I presume to keep you from harming our group.
I believe the research should be kept to those who are doing the researching. The more of us who have contacted me with this particular stuff.
Well, unfortunately, you haven't been around to make that decision, and we've already made it.
Welcome to my world.
If we'd been more open from the start, perhaps we wouldn't need to have these measures in place. The fact is, none of us have been open with any of us.
You're going about with your little secrets and your little spells and not telling everyone. And then...
Are you sure all of our
that
minds
happen.
can take it?
Miss McCrea, I assure you.
thinking about one of
I am not suggesting that you teach everybody what you know. I am suggesting that you tell everyone what you're going to research. So that if you get all wonky on us, somebody knows what's going on.
I thought I was able to beam when somebody had gone wonky and I had made a horrible choice. Why does it stop you from making a horrible choice?
The fact
What
is,
choice was that?
When I thought Professor Wentworth went too far and I decided to take action in my own hands.
Miss McCrea is a lot less trigger happy than you are, so. Miss McCrea has proven that she is willing to be honest and open with us. I think that's what makes her worthy to make such decisions. I can't say I've been as honest as her. No, if anyone else can either.
I know I haven't.
Very well, and that is why going forward, that is why it's important that we do not make the same mistakes we have made, and we keep each other informed of our actions, so we may work together better as a collective. That is what I think. Should people decide otherwise, I cannot stop them. It's merely what I think will make us the most effective we can be, so we can fully face the threats that we face.
I agree.
I know this is ruffles and some feathers, and we're all having it out with each other, but we'll get through it.
But a small row.
I'll get it and go back to my room. Unless somebody stops me.
A ninja kick you through the door. I don't have to.
So as long as you're not trying to jump at me.
To do that, you'd have to jump
terrible
off the ground.
jump.
Oh.
I can walk up and kick you.
Alright,
I don't have my first aid kit here.
Is everyone getting up and dispersing?
Well, gentlemen, if
I want to
this
watch
is-
where everyone's going.
So, do you feel like you'll be able to control this curiosity of yours?
Are you stopping? Are you
Yes.
just gonna keep going? Or you go?
I believe it's just a mere curiosity.
Just let us know if anything changes.
It's based on my not understanding what's going on with everyone and wanting to keep everybody safe. Feel like if I know what everybody else knows, I will be able to keep you safer. But I understand that that's not the way it works.
Well, I myself read. Which one did you say you had? You have People of the Monolith, yes?
Yes.
I can briefly tell you what was in it. I think that would
Yes.
be perfectly
I
alright.
think that would be helpful.
Matt, I don't recall what was in People of the Monolith. Can you give a brief description? That would, so I would give her a summary of. I believe it was a poem of some sort, but I'm not really sure.
Let me find the entry. Give me just a second. I believe that was Life as a God.
Yeah, I don't read like this. I don't think.
People of the Monolith.
What language are you doing?
It's in English.
Right.
Awesome. Sorry, I have to go find it in the base code.
I don't think I told anybody I had contact Nodden.
We've discussed Nodden at a certain point, I feel like.
Yeah. We discussed Noddens because that's what you said they were
Well,
called.
yeah, because I described the guy that contacted me, but I don't think I ever said like,
I-
oh, and by the way, I could just like reach out and go, ring ring.
I handed you the book, having learned to spell from it, hoping you would learn to spell
I'm
from
sorry,
it.
you are correct. It is a collection of poems. Doesn't say much more. It's a volume of poems. Title poem is acknowledged as the writer's masterwork.
Yeah, so I just said, some poems, I don't think it was as strange as the narcotic manuscript, which I read. That was a little bit more bizarre.
Then how are you guys learning all these spells? Like, what are you reading if it's just a book of poems?
No, narcotic manuscripts has spells.
But people were monolith
Does not.
You also don't need books to learn.
That's true as well. If you are if you're already initiated into the arts, and if you're a careful observer, you can understand the rituals yourself. That is how I understood what he was doing with the cow and knives and the things.
Absolutely. So it doesn't matter if we have the books or not.
As long as we're not preparing rituals willy-nilly. Once we're all together, I will tell everyone what I can do. If others would like to be as forthcoming, that is fine as well.
I will keep that in mind. Well, you have yourself a good evening. I turn to walk.
And hold on. So, Mr. Botticello, you kind of leave the group and head back to your room. I need you to give me a spot hidden.
A cabin boy is a cultist and going to try and kill us all.
I got it. 28 and a 34.
As you kind of walk down the hall and out to go down some stairs, you notice a younger man you've not seen before. And he doesn't dart necessarily, but he quickly moves inside the boat because you went outside to go down on the outside of the boat. You head that way, or are you just going to let him go?
I'm unfollowing.
And this is how Botticello works.
I'm going to try to follow stealthily.
Okay. Do you have sneak?
I have a 10% base chance.
Well, then roll that.
Nope.
So he
Clang!
Guys, so you go through the same door that he went through, and you catch a glimpse of him down at the end of the hall. You got to follow him a little bit. You're clearly not being stealthy. You can even tell yourself that you aren't being stealthy.
I'm going to try to make sure he doesn't lead me into I'm not going to follow him into a room.
No.
Into a room, same corridor.
You eventually kind of lose him. Twists and turns here and there. Almost into the bowels of the ship. And it becomes clear that he knows at least enough to go where to hide and to lose you. So,
How young are the...
maybe
is he too young to actually work below deck?
Maybe early 20s. Now, they put 5-year-olds down there if they could get away with it. I mean, this is the 1920s.
How big of a ship is this? Would I know?
It's a
pretty
big,
much.
it's a big shipping.
So it's easy. So it's a possibility that I just haven't seen this person before.
No, the crew's only 15 maybe.
But he's been sequestered most of the time. Why would
No,
he
that's
do
true.
that?
You have been kind of away. You haven't seen it as part of the crew when you come and grab food or anything,
Yeah.
but you haven't been out of your room a lot either.
So it's a little odd. I'm going to go back up.
Okay.
I'm going to go back to the dining room. Hopefully,
Give me another spot hidden.
Botticello put on his clown shoes to start.
I got it.
sneaking his clown shoes.
1834.
As you're walking back, you notice a piece of black chalk, about half an inch long, laying on the ground. Looks like it's just been dropped.
Yoink.
Okay.
Black chalk or charcoal?
I guess black chalk would in fact be charcoal.
Just
So
checking.
you find some charcoal. Good answer from the artist. Thank you.
Black chalk. And I kind of had that. I was like, I've never seen black chalk.
And
Well,
I-
it could have been magical black chalk.
That's,
I mean,
that's what I was
yeah.
worried about.
But no,
Charcoal could still be bad, but black chalk is boozy shit.
you find some charcoal, and it is in like a chalk-like form.
Okay, so it's not
That,
like
yes.
Um,
A stick of charcoal as an artist would use.
you haven't noticed. You guys are the only passengers, unless one of the crew members is an artist that you're unaware of, which doesn't make any sense in a moist environment.
In a moist environment.
Draw me like one of your
Come on.
French girls.
Yeah.
Right.
Charcoal, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't do well in high humidity. Correct. And by high humidity, I mean water comes overboard occasionally. So
But at the same time, there are relatively limited cases.
in 1926,
Yes.
How well used is it?
it's been used recently, or recently-ish.
As
It
a
has been-
fire or as a drawing implement.
It wouldn't be
So,
good for fire.
Suspicious me. Could I make an occult check?
Uh,
I mean, it's a
you don't need
stretch,
to. It
yeah.
could be used.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I've done things with chalk.
Yeah.
Charcoal.
Look for some strong charcoal walls.
Do you look for symbols?
I do look around.
Give me a spot hidden.
Yay! Kid!
You look kind of through the corridors you went through. You can go back up. You don't see anything.
Okay, I'm half tempted to draw one, but I will resist. I'm going to go back up to the dining room. Hopefully they haven't left yet.
It's about the time that you guys finish up your conversation that Botticello walks back in.
Are they still at the table?
They're probably standing
Well,
up, getting ready
yeah.
to leave.
I'm going to walk back over to the table, sit down. So, guys, I was walking back in my room, and I think I've seen a stowaway. I'm not positive. He might be a part of the crew. I'll give a rough description of who he was.
The description that he gives doesn't match anybody that you guys know.
He seemed to know the ship pretty well. He lost me down deep inside, and then I found this piece of charcoal on the ground.
We should tell the captain right away.
I agree. I agree.
He's right there.
The captain of the ship.
Was the captain playing cards with you by chance, or was that?
No.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm not.
These are.
Okay.
So you guys head for the captain?
This could wait till morning. This isn't something we need to wake him up for, is it? Is somebody saying something?
He seemed.
Perhaps we should ask the crew before we talk to the captain.
You know,
literally right now.
you know the boys below boards. Why don't you see if they know what's going on?
I'll go meet up again with Mr. Byrne, and I'll see if we can't ask them before we go to the captain.
So all of you are heading into the poker game?
No, not at all. I'm letting
Just
Captain go
the
to it.
captain, just Mr. Captain Wilkerson, not the
Why,
captain.
why don't you all return to your rooms? I'll go speak with Mr. Byrne and the gentleman downstairs, and I'll come back and we'll gather. I'm going to follow him back towards his room.
That's not creepy at all.
Are you doing it clearly, or are you putting on your clown shoes?
I'm putting on my clown shoes.
Awesome. There's a guy sneaking behind me with a shotgun.
And clown
I feel
shoes.
safe.
That thing that he said earlier, don't worry about it.
Well, because the captain found a guy you can pin your murder on.
Oh, yeah,
So
awesome.
it's cool.
Awesome.
It's cool.
Yeah.
He's got a patsy, so it's all
So
good.
anytime that you guys want to have this scene where he clearly knows that he's being followed,
Well, do I have to make a sneak roll?
are you going? I asked you if you were going to try and sneak.
And I said, yes.
No, you said you're pulling on your
Your
clown
clown
shoes.
shoes.
No, that's how he sneaks.
Roll your sneak.
I just thought that's how we did it.
Roll your sneak.
You're a good sneak.
59.
Oh, nice.
I roll 84. So I put on my clown shoes and go down the hallway.
So
You're being stalked by a big game hunter.
Captain Wilkerson is behind you, or someone is behind you of decent size.
Being not stealthy.
I'm gonna walk around the corner, pull my pistol out, and just like have it aimed right around head height.
So you should come around the corner, not far back from the corner.
Is there a surprise?
You're surprised.
I'm not moving. I'm just kind of like, oh, it's you.
I kind of get a sideways look like, oh, well, I thought I was being more stealthy than that. Apparently not.
I will put my gun away.
They've gone back to their rooms.
Yeah.
Can you teach the spell that you learned, that you used to destroy the werewolf?
Of course I can.
Would you be interested in taking on tutelage?
Who are you talking about? Yourself?
Me, of course. It's important to have all weapons available in the fight against evil.
I agree with you completely in spirit. In specific, your mind is not healthy enough to withstand these. The things you have already seen, the hallucinations, would only be compounded with immediate effect.
Yes, but the ocean air has done wonders for me. I've felt better than I had in weeks.
That's not what Weld tells me.
Well, I've actually, after the young lass's demise, again, in this short amount of time, I do feel significantly better.
I'll make you a deal, Captain. If you can get Weld to agree with your meditation sessions, I will teach you.
Fair enough. I have to see about a poker game.
Very well, sir. Yeah, I know goddamn well that you're not going to agree with this.
Absolutely not.
So,
Well, we'll see about that.
So the professor heads back to his room. Captain, you head to
Downstairs to the poker game.
Mr. Byrne, have you been drinking during this poker game?
Uh,
Would it be fair to say that you might be slightly inebriated?
no, not in the slightest.
Would you be drunk as a skunk?
No.
Would you be tipsy at all?
Because again, the point of these games is to learn how to read people better.
True.
So I would be, I've had maybe one drink over the course of the entirety of the evening.
Okay.
I hear blood.
So yeah, he sits there. The other four crewmen are not drunk, but they are not sober.
Yeah.
So
Captain, you're back.
Yes. Oh yes, deal me back in. Yes, and I throw Nancy in. And Mr. Byrne, Mr. Botticello has found a delver, perhaps an extra. Gentlemen, do you know of another passenger who, and I fits the description of about Yay with Yay and the thing in the hub with the mustachy,
yeah,
whatever the clown shoes.
Clearly
whatever
looks just like Snidely Whiplash.
Yes,
Yeah.
Snyder Whiplash, very good.
One of them. You six are the only passengers we've got.
Then perhaps there might be a stowaway.
If that's the case, then the captain should be alerted.
Would you wish us to alert him now or wait until
Yeah,
morning?
you can alert him now. I'm gonna stay right here. Captain likes his sleep. He'll be up by 5 bells.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's probably getting towards 10 after the traipsing through the bowels of the ship and walking back and forth and having conversations. It's been a couple hours.
You do know what time 5 bells is, right?
It's 5 a.m., isn't it? No.
What time is it? What time is it?
8 bells is 6.
Why would they ring a bell 8 times if it's 6 o'clock in the morning?
Sailors are like
Because
really
it's on a
weird
12-hour rotation.
But it's still 6
Anyhow.
o'clock in the morning.
Right. And it would be 4 bells is at 3.
So
5
7
bells
bells.
is at 3:30.
Oh, it's half bells? Half
Yeah.
hours? It's
Yeah.
dumb.
Oh.
So I'll be up at 5 in the morning.
Our apologies for all of our nautical listeners.
If you're a nautical listener, you write me and tell me, and I will send you a print of our cover art. How about that?
Well,
yeah.
Excuse me, I have to prepare an email. Oh, sorry.
Write in, explain it all in full, in context.
Yeah. Tell us how Scott's wrong about bells, because
Yes, please tell me how I'm wrong about bells. I'd love nothing would charge me more than
not a
If
tissue.
at any point you can write to Matt and tell him how Scott is wrong, free swag.
Yeah, free swag for telling Scott he's wrong.
Standing offer.
Don't worry, you guys don't have to worry about telling me I'm wrong. George will email me later and remind me.
But in the email, I pointed out how I was wrong as well. To be fair.
But if you can prove how Scott's wrong with references, Matt will want to know.
free swag, standing offer. I like that.
So, yeah, he'll be up at 5 in the morning.
Okay.
So now is not the time at all, ever. The ship should be on fire before we wake him up.
Understood.
So they play a few more hands. Are you gonna just let it go and wait till the morning?
Then I'm going to retire and wait until the ship to burn down in the middle of the night, and then we'll wake the captain up when that happens, or tomorrow.
Okay.
Some shit burns down.
I was waiting for you to go light a flare and throw it in the boat or something.
So
Like,
And now the ship is on fire.
So that will do us tonight for Nerds Domain Presents Mask and Arrows Up, and we will see you guys. We won't see you guys. You'll hear us in just about a week.
And remember, prove Scott wrong.